Welcome to Eureka Math. I'm Mr. Shankel. I'll be helping you today with Module 3, Lesson 7. Let's get started. All right, so first thing we're going to do today is just plot a few points. So let's do that, and then we'll follow the directions on B, C, and D. So graph the number 7 and its opposite. So number 7 is here. I remember that opposites are the same distance from 0 on the other side of 0. So this is 7 units away. So my opposite is also going to be 7 units away, and that puts me at -7. So just using the definition of opposites there. So we've got 7 and -7. And then also graph the number 5 and its opposite. So also we're going to get 5 and its opposite. So by the same method, I've got 5, and then 5 units to the left would be -5. So there's 5 and its opposite, 5 and -5. Okay, and then let's answer some of our questions. So let me get this out of the way, and let's see if we can answer any of these questions here. Where does 7 lie in relation to 5? Well, 7 is here, and 5 is here. So where does 7 lie? 7 lies 2 units to the right. So 2 units to the right is where 7 is in relation to 5. And then for part C, where does the opposite of 7 lie on the number line in relation to the opposite of 5? Well, if we look at the opposite of 7 is here, and the opposite of 5 is there. Now, -7 is 2 units to the left. So -7 would be 2 units left of -5. And then the last part, D, is what do you notice about the location of their opposites? Well, look, if we have 7 is 2 units to the right, their opposites kind of flip-flop, don't they? So the 5 to -5 goes there, and the 7 to -7 goes there. And now those 2 points, their opposites are now flipped. They're the opposite direction. So left instead of right. 2 units to the left instead of 2 units to the right. So when we look at the opposite, everything flips. All right, so let's take a look at our first example. The record low temperatures for a town in Maine are -20 degrees Fahrenheit for January and -19 degrees for February. Order the numbers from least to greatest. Well, my smallest number is going to be the one farthest to the left. So let's just take a look on a number line where these points might be. If I have 0 here and I started counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this would be -5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, there's -10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, there's -15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Here's -20, and -19 I saw as we went by. Here's 19, and here's 20. -19 and -20. So the one that's the smallest is the one that's farthest to the left. Okay, left is less. You might think of that. You might use that to remind yourself. Left is less. So the one that's farther to the left is the smaller one. So if I'm going to put these in order, my smallest number is going to be the one that's the most negative. Or if I look on the number line, the one that's farthest to the left. And that happens to be -20. So if I put these in order, I have -20 is the smallest, -19 is the biggest. And that's different than if we had positive numbers, right? Our smallest number on the positive side would be 19. It's a little bit smaller than 20. Well, so that would be the opposite order because we're on the opposite side of 0. Okay, so be careful here. Left is less, something to remember. The one that's more negative, I think of it like this. I say, well, 20 is the bigger number, and it's more negative. So that makes it smaller. The one that's the most negative is the smallest number. That's another way to think about it. Okay, for each problem, order the rational numbers from least to greatest, smallest to the biggest. by first reading the problem, then drawing a number line, and finally explaining your answer. So we've got John's time in running the mile in gym class was 9.2 minutes, and Jackie's time is 9.18 minutes. And look, I've got hundredths place, so I really need 100 marks, but I'm gonna try to use this number line without drawing a number 100 marks. We'll see what we get. So we're going to start with 9. I know that it's going to be bigger than 9, and I know that the times are also smaller than 10. So it's bigger than 9 and smaller than 10. And I'm first going to split it up into tenths just to see how much space I'm going to have. So that's 9.5, and then I need 5 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and about the same size for these. Okay, so it looks like that. This would be 9.5 here. 9.2 is something that we're going to use, so 9.2 would be this one. Okay, so there's 9.2, and I do have a point there, so I'm going to use 9.2 as that one. And then I need 9.18. Well, 9.18 would be bigger than 9.1, which would be this one. Bigger than that, but less than 9.2. So if I split this into 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that, these would be hundredths. So I've got 9.10, 9.15 would be here, 9.16, 17, 18. So 9.18 is somewhere right in there. And that one will be 9.18. So now I can see left is less. The smaller number is 9.18, followed by the bigger number, 9.2. Okay, a lot of people make the mistake to just look at the number and not the place value. Some people look at this and they say, well, 2 is less than 18, so 2 is smaller. But that's not true when we look at the number line. And if we consider place value, if I made them both hundredths, now I have 18 hundredths and 20 hundredths, and 18 hundredths is obviously smaller. So be careful that you take into account place value, or use a number line to help you place those and decide which one's smaller. Remember, on a number line, left is less. Okay, let's keep going. Ms. Rodriguez is a teacher at Westbury Middle School. She gives bonus points on tests for outstanding written answers, and she deducts points for answers that are not written correctly. She uses rational numbers to represent the points. She wrote the following on students' papers. Student A, negative 2 points. Student B, a negative 2.5 points. And then the question is, did student A or student B perform worse on the test? Well, that would be the smaller number of points, right? The least of these two rational numbers. Well, if I put them on a number line, let's see, negative 2 and negative 2.5. I know they're going to be smaller than negative 2 and bigger than negative 3. So I've got it narrowed down. And then I just need, I have negative 2 already. That one's going to be right here. But I need negative 2.5. Well, halfway between negative 2 and negative 3 would be negative 2.5. That one would be here. And so we mark that one. And now I can see clearly left is less. So the one that performed worst is the negative 2.5 student. And then negative 2 would be a little bit better. All right. Remember, left is less, or the one that's the most negative. 2.5 is more than 2. But they're negatives, so it's smaller. The one that's the most negative is the smaller number. It's another way to think of it. All right, let's try one more. A carp is swimming approximately 8 1/4 feet beneath the water surface, and a sunfish is swimming approximately 3.5 feet beneath the water surface. Which fish is swimming farther beneath the water surface? So I need the smaller number, the one that's left on the number line. So let's go number line again. And let's see, this time I've got a wider range. So they're both below, they're both negatives. So I know that negative 3 would be here. And I need to get smaller than negative 8. So this is going to be a negative 9. And let's see if I can get this right. -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9. That's pretty close. -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. Remember, we want those intervals to be as close to the same size as possible. And all right, so I need 8 and 1/4. So -8 and 1/4. So I need to split the space between -8 and -9 into fourths, and -8 and 1/4 would be there. And then -3 and 1/2. Well, that's between -3 and -4. So I'll split that into 2. I don't like that color. Let me change that. Split that into 2. So that's -3 1/2. And now clearly I can see that -8 and 1/4 is the smallest or the farthest beneath the water, followed by -3 and 1/2. And there we go. We've ordered them properly. Okay, example 2. Henry and Janan and Clark are playing a card game. The object of the game is to finish with the most points. The scores at the end of the game are Henry, -7, Janan, 0, and Clark, -5. Who won the game? Well, we need the one that is the most number of points. So if I were to put this on a number line, if I put these integers on a number line, I see 0 would be 0 would be over here, and then I go negatives, so all the way to -7. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, and then I can plot those points. -7 is here, a -5 would be here, and a 0 would be there. Okay, so the one with the most points wins, so that's 0 points. Janan is the winner. And then who came in last place? Well, it's the one with the least amount of points, so that's -7, and that was Henry. So first place was Janan with 0 points. That's first place. Second place would be this one, -5. That's Clark. And then last place or third place would be Henry at -7. That's -5. That's -7. Okay, so the most is 0. The least is -7. There we go. All right, next one. Least to greatest again. Henry, Janan, and Clark are playing another round of the card game. Their scores this time are as follows. Clark at -1, Janan at -2, and Henry at -4. Who won? What's the one with the most number of points? If I were to graph this on a number line, I'd have, well, let's start with 0, and then they're all negatives, so I'm just going to go -1, -2, -3, -4. So -4, -3, -2, -1. There we go. And then I can graph them. Well, Clark is at -1. That's Clark. And Janan is at -2. That's Janan. And then Henry is at -4. Henry. So the winner would be the one with the most points. The winner is Clark this time. And who came in last place? Henry at -4. Left is less. Left is less. All right, and then our last exercise for today. Represent each of the following elevations using a rational number. Then order the numbers from least to greatest. Okay, so we're taking what we learned in our topic A, above sea level. That's going to be positive 122. We have another above sea level, so that's a positive 1,629. And then we have a below sea level. That one's negative 15.24. Okay, and then we're going to order them from least to greatest. Well, the smallest number is the negative number. I don't have to compare anything. I just know left is less and negative numbers are to the left. So 15.24 is our smallest number. And then the next number that I would get to on my number line would be 122 if I were counting. And then the biggest number is 1,629. So there we have it. Negative 15.24 is the New York Stock Exchange vault. 122 would be Cuyahoga Lake. and the farthest above sea level is Mount Marcy. All right, that is lesson 7. I hope that helps. See you again next time.